morning everybody, it's Tom Christie back in the painting studio, and today's video is going to focus on the ongoing search for alternatives for chroma airbrush paint. I've done a couple of samples of different iridescent or metallic paints to look for replacements for the chroma that is no longer being made, and some of my painting videos used chroma airbrush paint colors. And so I did want to circle back and look at three specific colors. These are not interference or iridescent colors. These are just normal wildfowl colors. Driftwood, Nutmeg, and Chestnut. Kind of three basic colors in the chroma airbrush paints. You can still find them. There's some inventory out there, but it's getting more and more difficult to find. So I thought it might be helpful to put a video together to show some mixes using basically three colors of Jo Sonja tube colors to come up with those same three colors. So I'll show you how to mix. This is a bit of an experiment, and but I think it would be helpful to get a rough mix that could be equivalent to those three colors in case you need to use those or are referring to those in some of my painting videos. I had no idea that chroma would go out of business with those colors when I put the painting videos together. So we need a good alternative that you can go to match those colors. So let's bring the camera in a little closer. Again, if you're valuing the content of my channel, please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. That does help me out, and it helps me continue to build this channel. Just a little pitch for the channel. The goal of this channel, again, is just to provide a bevy of resources for people that might want to carve decoys or wildfowl and have no clue how to get started. Maybe can carve but are paint challenged, maybe can paint but are carving challenged. So I'm trying to put a portfolio of videos together for free that are available to people all over the country and the world that might want to carve wildfowl. It's something I love, and I get a lot of joy out of it, and I'm hoping this channel will be helpful to those of you out there that might want to give it a try. So let's take a look at these three chroma colors. Again, Driftwood, which is kind of a gray color, Nutmeg, which is kind of a sienna color, and then Chestnut, just a rich, warm brown color. And let's take a look at Jo Sonja paints that we could mix to match those colors. All right, here are those three chroma colors. I've put 3 coats of the paint on this white cardstock, just so we have a neutral background. So this is the Driftwood gray, the Nutmeg, and the Chestnut, and hopefully those colors translate through the video okay. And supposedly I'm going to try using burnt umber. These are Jo Sonja colors, raw sienna, and warm white in various mixtures to come up with a mix that'll match these colors. So let's give that a try. All right, we're going to try to mix the Driftwood first. And I don't have scientific measuring equipment here, but you'll get the gist of it. I've got Jo Sonja burnt umber, and it's 2 parts burnt umber. So for parts, I'm just putting a small dot of paint, roughly the same size, on a piece of paper, on a piece of palette paper. So 2 dots of burnt umber, 1 dot, 1 part raw sienna. Again, not very scientific, but just trying to get those in the general vicinity. And then 1 part of warm white. Now I'm gonna put a little water on the brush and mix those together. And you may or we may have to make some value adjustments by adding a little more darkness or a little more of the white light with the warm white. But I'm trying to get a good mix on this. And just offhand, it looks pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and paint this over here. And I'll put 3 coats on here next to the chroma, and these will be our mix colors. And you don't have to watch me watch paint dry, but I'll do 3 coats and see how close we are to the chroma driftwood. All right, there's the results after drying. So this Jo Sonja mix is 2 parts burnt umber, 1 part warm white, 1 part raw sienna. And again, you may have to add, subtract a little bit to get that tone absolutely perfect, but it's right in the ballpark. So I'm happy with that. Let's move on to the nutmeg. For the nutmeg, I'm going to try 3 parts raw sienna, 1 part burned umber. Let's give that a mix and see how close we are. Let that dry. If anything, I'm going to go with another dollop of raw sienna. And I think that little lighter value is closer to this value. All right, to get the nutmeg value close, I used 4 parts of Jo Sonja raw sienna to 1 part of Jo Sonja burnt umber to get this mix. Now we'll move on to the chestnut. For the chestnut, I'm going to use 1 part raw sienna, and I'm going to start with 1 part of burnt umber, and we'll see if that's going to be dark enough. That chestnut's a nice dark value. So just a 2-color mix. This is going to darken as it dries, so I'm going to go ahead and paint this on here. But I have a feeling we're going to want a little more burnt umber to darken this up a bit. So this was 1:1. So I'll paint that 3 times with the current mix, and then we'll determine whether we need to add a touch more burnt umber to darken this value up. Well, after drying, that darkened up quite a bit, so we're really close to this chestnut value with 1 part raw sienna, 1 part burnt umber. So you can see with 3 Jo Sonja colors, we were able to make very close match to the chroma driftwood, nutmeg and chestnut. So I know it's a hassle having to mix paints, But the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with mixing and knowing which value to add. And I'm hoping this will be helpful to those of you that are having trouble finding these chroma colors. Just a quick view of that closer to the light so you can see the color values there, and pretty close match. All right, a quick video today, but I think an important video from a couple of different aspects. One is just coming up with replacements for these chroma colors that are no longer available or being made. And we were able to do that relatively quickly with Jo Sonja colors. The second value that I think you can get out of this type of video is if you're not comfortable with painting and mixing colors, hopefully I've shown you an approach here that can help you get comfortable with mixing your own colors. That way we're not constrained to a particular brand of paint, which, as we've seen, can go away. But if you kind of get comfortable mixing your own colors, you can do just about anything with any paint set that you have to match up and get the color values and intensity that you're looking for your carving. So until next time, this is Tom Christie signing out. I hope this has been helpful, and good carving, good painting to all of you.